If you're interested in an interview with Davi Ramos, who is one of the best BJJ and grappling athletes in the world, and also a successful MMA fighter, stay tuned and watch this short video. Hi, my name is Mark Leichner from MMAcoach.net, and I'm here with Davi Ramos. And he just finished a seminar in Belgrade, a humanitarian seminar, which was great. And you guys are going to see some techniques from the seminar, if Davi allows me.
Yes, for sure.
Great, great. First, welcome to Serbia, Davi.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Well, I have a few questions for you. First, I would like to ask you, how did the transition to MMA go for you? Was it hard to transition from BJJ to MMA?
In the beginning, yeah, of course it's hard, because you start to learn different things, So you start to learn how to play jiu-jitsu and MMA. So it's a big difference, because when I have the punch, it's changed everything. So that's the most important. And then I will start to be more hard for me when I start to learn Muay Thai and box, because it's totally different. But Jiu-Jitsu is much more hard than box and Muay Thai. I love this sport, But when you're born, you start fighting in the street, You don't know how to punch, And you don't know how to kick. Not exactly, but you start, But you don't know how to play Jiu-Jitsu, you know what I mean? Jiu-Jitsu is much more hard. Then I learn much more fast box and Muay Thai than Jiu-Jitsu. But the transition and the beginning is very hard.
You mean it's not natural to do BJJ like it is to do kicks and punches?
Exactly.
Okay. In your opinion, what should a BJJer do to transition well into MMA? Because we've seen some BJJ players transition really well, like Jacare, like Fabricio Verdum, and then we also saw some others, like Marcelo Garcia, that didn't have a really good transition, and he's like almost one of the best guys in grappling and BJJ.
Well, for me, especially, to keep training, keep learning. They don't be scared to lose. When you have a big name in Jiu-Jitsu, so they scared to fight against Jiu-Jitsu, to fight MMA to lose. And then you start to learn something totally different, than you normally training every day. As the problem is a big problem. When a lot of people fight in MMA, so they stop training the good jiu-jitsu fighters. They stop training jiu-jitsu, and then I just start to train in box and Muay Thai. So I can training many years box and Muay Thai. I never fight like a box man, you know what I mean, or a Muay Thai fighter. Never. I'm jiu-jitsu fighter. My background is jiu-jitsu fight. I training Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, but I never stop. I train in box and Muay Thai, but every day I train Jiu-Jitsu. Because it's my background. I don't want to lose my strong way. You understand me?
Right. So you need to keep training what you're already good at. And what about the whole gi no gi stuff? Do you still train with the gi? Do you still compete with the gi? I presume you do compete with no gi. Do you compete in gi as well?
Yeah. Let me tell you. My two last fight, MMA, so I train very last Jiu-Jitsu, I train much more boxing, Muay Thai to improve, but every day, not every day, now I train every day Jiu-Jitsu again. Before, I train every day Jiu-Jitsu again. And my two last fight and my two last MMA fight, so I train much more box and Muay Thai. And then I come to my fights, and then I want to do more box and Muay Thai. So okay, that's good, and when you get the level, so you need to know everything, Now I'm feeling very good, and stand up and box and the rest, because in my division, you need to know everything. But I start to forget my background, you know what I mean? And then what I did, I stopped training box and Muay Thai and go back to train with gi and compete again. So in the high level. So I was competing in the European This year, I competed in Abu Dhabi Grand Slam, Jiu-Jitsu gi. So why I did this? This is not my focus. My focus is exactly in MMA, but I don't want to lose my background. And then I start to fight again, Jiu-Jitsu with the gi. For me, especially, is very important. I didn't scared to lose. A lot of people scared to lose, and then start to lose his game.
I see, but do you think a fighter can do well in MMA? It doesn't have to be a jiu-jitsu fighter, any fighter that doesn't train in gi. Can we just train in no gi and still be good in MMA?
Of course, because no gi helps a lot. In MMA, you need to train in that. But with the gi, you have more technique. You have much more control. It's really hard to escape that control. That's the point. When you have that feeling with gi, so you know gi is easy.
I see. So what's next for you? Any grappling competitions or MMA competitions that are coming up for you?
I will fight now next week in the Grand Prix, Belgrade Grand Prix 4.
In Chechnya?
Not be in Chechnya, be in California.
Oh, in California.
Yeah, gonna be.
I thought Belgrade. It's the same organization.
Yeah, the same organization, but gonna be in California now. So I'm very happy to be there.
And who are you fighting?
My first fight is against AG Agazan, and this is a Grand Prix. So 3 fights for the title, and I'm very good. I'm feeling good.
Great. What about MMA? What's next as far as MMA is concerned?
So me and my manager, so we find another fight, maybe in June or July. So I hope everything is good.
Perhaps getting back to Bellator or talking with the UFC. Can we know? Can we be the first to know?
No, guys. Yeah, I want to go there.
Okay.
So let's see. So my manager talk to find some way. I just let the guy work. I'm just fight.
Okay, and one last question. How does your typical day look like training-wise and week? How many times a day do you train? How many of those days do you train more jiu-jitsu, or do you train more boxing or Thai boxing or wrestling, something that is not your background?
No, I train jiu-jitsu 3 times a day, 3 times a weekend. For when I fight MMA, and most of the trainees as wrestling and boxing and Muay Thai, and then I did this party, But always when I finish to my training is exactly when I did before when I competed with the gi. So I did the drills of box, I did the drills of wrestling, I did the drills of Muay Thai, not just the training. I really like to do drills. So I come from Atos, and all these guys train a lot. When I train with the gi, when I just competing with the gi, so I train 4 times a day, only gi drills, do everything. So I think it's really important.
Yeah, they say drillers are killers. And I want to thank you very much for this interview, and I want to thank you very much for this seminar. It was beautiful. Thank you. Please come again, and
right.
we'll be very happy to have you.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys like to my positions, and I hope you guys like my seminar.
The links will be below, so you can check out some of the Davi Ramos' techniques. See ya. If you like this video, like it and share it, and you can also subscribe to our channel. If you're interested in a more in-depth MMA training, check out our instructionals. My name is Mark Leichner from MMAcoach.net, and I will see you again in another video very soon.